the death of Jesus Christ is beyond question, historically speaking. History attests to the death of Jesus Christ. I mean, you can take a Roman history of the first century, you can take Jewish history of the first century, you can take the first century world, and you will find that the death of Jesus of Nazareth was something that's etched in history. So we really don't have to wonder, did Jesus of Nazareth really die? And I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is when you ask the question, what happened after his death? You see, there's a difference which very often we ignore, and that difference is the difference between evidence and inference. Now, every historian who tells you Jesus died on the cross will also tell you that 3 days later, somehow his tomb, the place where they buried his body, was found empty. You see, that's evidence. Now, it's not the historian's burden to come up with an inference, but it is your call and mine. It's a burden on you and me to infer from that. What are we to make of the tomb of someone who just died, of that tomb being now empty? And if you think of all the things that have happened, the best explanation for that, the best inference you can come up with the empty tomb, is that Jesus rose from the dead bodily. See, that's what explains everything. That's what explains how his disciples who deserted him now became so devoted to him that they were prepared to even die for him. That explains the birth of the church, a movement that has been unparalleled and unchallenged since the day it began. That explains the writing of the New Testament, the most critiqued document and yet the most integral document known to humankind. It also explains why anyone can have hope of life beyond the grave, no matter how deep, desperate, and dark the time is, because the tomb is empty. You see, the death of Jesus Christ of Nazareth is an assured fact. History tells us that. The empty tomb is equally assured. We have multiple witnesses and attestations for that. What you and I need to do is to take that one step forward and ask yourself the question, so what does this cause us and call us to conclude? Jesus, risen from the dead, is the hope that we have. That's the message of Easter, and that is why humanity everywhere can actually celebrate living life now, knowing that death is not the end. Because he lives, says Jesus, we too will live as well.